Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello everyone, welcome to Commerce online classes. So let us go with the new chapter, that is determining the theory with the employment and income, that is under the heading determination of income and employment. This theory is based on the J.M. Keynes model, that is Keynesian economics. In macroeconomics, in the beginning we studied about the Keynesian theory. So on the basis of that, this theory is built, that is Keynesian theory of employment, interest and money, published in the year 1936 as we studied earlier. On the basis of that particular theory, this concept is taken. So what is this income and employment? How to determine income and employment in an economy? That we are going to study in this chapter. So what are the topics to be covered in this chapter is introduction, consumption function, investment function, aggregate demand and aggregate supply, demand function and supply function, investment multiplier and paradox thrift. These are the topics we are going to cover in the determination of income and employment. Let us see the introduction part, that is how to determine the income and employment in the economy. So as we studied, when the demand increases, supply of goods also increases. That's what we studied. So we never studied about what are the impact of income and employment on the demand and supply of goods and services. So while determining the national income, we are going to consider the income and employment also. Thus, while determining the national income, we are considering aggregate demand, aggregate supply, investment in the economy, consumption in the economy. Thus, all the economic activities we are going to consider while calculating national income, that is production, consumption, distribution and exchange of goods and services in the economy. Thus, how to determine these income and employment is a question. So, on the basis of consumption, on the basis of production, on the basis of investment, we are going to determine the income in the economy. So, how the income created? Income created with the help of employment. If there is a work to do, then only one can earn something. So, earning something is a money. So, if the employment is there, then income is there. When the income increases, individual income increases, that leads to increase in the nation's income. So, while calculating the national income, we are going to considering per capita income, that is individual income per head. And also we are going to considering the GDP, gross domestic product, total product produced in the country. That product produced with the help of factors of production we studied. Land, labor, capital and organization. Rewards given to that in the form of factor payments we studied, rent, wages, interest and profit. So in a circular manner we studied circular flow of income of an economy. Through that, income and employment is determined in the economy. That concepts we are going to discuss here. How the theory is built means on the basis of national income accounting. While calculating national income, so we need both consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, government expenditure. We remember C plus I plus D x minus M. Net exports we are going to considering all the things we discussed in the national income accounting chapter. So this is the continuation part of that particular chapter only. So how to determine income and employment? For example, it is having a multiplier effect. Suppose income of an individual increases. In economics, income is denoted by Y. Income increases, consumption increases, When the income increases, purchasing power of people also increases. When the consumption expenditure goes on increasing, supply of goods and demand for goods also increases. Supply increases, demand increases. When supply and demand both increases, which encourages the net investment, thus investment increases in the economy. When the investment increases or rises, that lead to create the huge employment opportunities to the youngsters. So that leads to the creation of employment. That creation of employment creates the income in the hands of people again. See the circular flow of economic activities now. So when the income increases, consumption increases. How to create that income is by increasing the investment. Increasing the investment leads to the increase in the employment. Increase in the employment leads to more money in the hands of the people. Again they are going to reinvest in the form of consumption function and investment function. Let us discuss the second concept of this chapter, that is consumption function. What is this consumption function? Consumption is also one kind of economic function as we studied earlier. Consumption, production, distribution, exchange. We given more importance to the consumption. So consumption is nothing but consumer is going to buy some goods and services to satisfy his wants. So consumption is always depends upon the income of an individual. Thus consumption is function of income. What is this consumption? Consumption is a functional relationship between the income of an individual. How much amount of money we have, that much we are going to buy the goods and services. Thus consumption is a function of income in general. Thus in particular manner, consumption is function of Cy. C is equal to C bar plus Cy. What is this C bar plus Cy? This equation also denotes the consumption function. Here it says that consumption is function of C bar means autonomous consumption plus Cy means induced consumption. Let us see what are these autonomous and induced consumption. So there are two types of consumption function. First one is autonomous consumption, second one is induced consumption. There are many types in the investment and consumption, ex ante, ex post, everything is there, but we are going to cover only the two topics here, autonomous consumption and induced consumption. What is this autonomous consumption? Autonomous consumption is nothing but it is a consumption is independent of income. So autonomous, by the name you can see, C bar is denoted as autonomous consumption. Zero level of national income is consumed by an individual. So autonomous consumption is nothing but consumption of zero level of national income, means minimum level of consumption for the survival. People need only the minimum level of consumption for the survival, not at all investing whole money or not at all consuming whatever the goods they are going to get. So this is said to be the autonomous consumption, zero level of national income consumed by an individual with the minimum level of consumption is said to be the autonomous consumption. So induced consumption represented by the Cy, symbol is Cy, induced consumption. Induced consumption is consumption depends on income. Consumption depends on income. Autonomous consumption is independent from income, not at all dependent on income. Just for the survival they were going to consume, whether the income increases or income decreases, no matter. Just they are going to consume the goods whatever their requirement, minimum level of consumption. But induced consumption is different from autonomous consumption. Induced consumption, consumption dependent on income. It means when the income increases, consumption increases. When the income increases, consumption increases. According to J.M. Keynes, consumption function is nothing but increase in the income leads to the increase in the consumption, sometimes less than proportionately, not at all always. Sometimes people may go for the savings. Thus sometimes when income increases, in the initial stage consumption increases. So in the later stage, when the income increases, consumption never increases, still decreases, or it may be as it is, and savings of individual increases. Thus, always induced consumption means consumption depends on the income level of an individual. For example, today you have 500 rupees, tomorrow your pocket money increased from 500 to 600 rupees. Instead of investing, we are going to save, means that 600 rupees as it is you are going to keep, or 50 rupees you are going to invest as a autonomous investment. Otherwise, in case of second one, induced consumption, instead of saving or zero level of national income you are going to consume, you are going to invest whole 500 and 600 rupees on the consumption. That is, always consumption depends on the income is said to be the induced consumption. Autonomous consumption is free from income, and induced consumption is dependent on income level of an individual. Consumption depended on income level of an individual. Increase in the income encourages the consumption, decrease in the income discourages the consumption level. Next, some concepts we should study before going to consumption function graphical representation. So, we should understand what are the some concepts are there in here. One is MPC, marginal propensity to consume. What is this MPC? Formula to calculate MPC is MPC is equal to delta C by delta Y. MPC always lies between 0 and 1, very important for 1 mark question. Value of MPC always lies in between 0 and 1, means additional capacity of an individual to consume the goods is called marginal propensity to consume. When the additional capacity comes to individual, when the income increases, change in the income due to the change in the consumption happens due to the change in the income, delta C by delta Y. Increase in the income from 500 rupees to 1000 rupees leads to increase in the consumption from 50% to 95%. This is said to be the marginal propensity to consume. Additional capacity of an individual to consume particular goods, that is always depends upon the income. Thus, change in the consumption due to the change in the income is said to be the marginal propensity to consume. What may be the term APC stands for? APC is equal to C by Y. APC means average propensity to consume. Average propensity is nothing but ability. Average propensity to consume. MPC means marginal capacity to consume the commodity. APC means average propensity to consume the commodity, average capacity of an individual to consume the commodity. Average propensity to consume is equal to C by Y, means consumption based on income, not at all change in the consumption and change in the income. Average consumption depends upon the average income is said to be the average propensity to consume. Formula to calculate APC is equal to C by Y, means consumption by income. Next concept we are going to cover here, the terms are savings. What is the savings in the economy? Savings is nothing but Y minus C. Y minus C means income minus consumption. Your income is 500 rupees. Your one day your income is 500 rupees means, so 15,000 income is there. You can think your income is 15,000 per 30 days. 15,000 minus your consumption is 5,000. You utilize the money for the consumption purpose, that is 5,000. What is remaining? 10,000. This 10,000 is a savings. So Y minus C, savings is nothing but income minus consumption. What are the money or income left out of consumption is said to be the savings. Next is MPS. What is this MPS? MPS means marginal propensity to save. When the income is very high, during that time your extra capacity or increases to save more and more. It encourages the savings. That is 1 minus MPC means marginal propensity to consume. So, when the extra income comes, your extra additional consumption also happens. So, after that whatever the thing 1 unit left, that is the marginal propensity to save. Additional capacity of individual to save is called marginal propensity to save. Next is APS. The terms we are going to cover in this chapter is APS. APS means average propensity to save. APS is average propensity to save. APS is equal to S by Y. S by Y. APS is equal to S by Y means savings by income. Average propensity to save always depends upon the savings on the basis of income. Average savings on the basis of average income. For example, your income is 10,000 means 5,000 you are going to invest and 5,000 you are going to save. Average propensity to save. Average capacity of individual to save for the future is said to be the average propensity to save. These terms are very important for the further graphical representation of consumption function, investment function and investment multiplier, even aggregate demand and aggregate supply concepts. So, in the next class we are going to study about representation of consumption function with the help of graph. Thank you.